Hi, I'm Hazel White. I graduated in 2005. I think I was supposed to say how I earn my living. I write about gardening and landscape architecture. I write magazine articles and books, and I also have a part-time job as senior editor at UC Davis Agriculture and Natural Resources. So landscape is my subject. Publication highlights. I was first published by a fellow CCA student, Ambridge Pietra, in her journal Blink, and then later by another fellow CCA student, Nikki Thompson, Deconstructed Architecture Press, a chapbook called Victor 14. And I have a book, my first book, Peril as Architectural Enrichment, published by Kelsey Street. And early poems appeared in Tarpaulin Sky, Denver Quarterly, and Verse magazine. So it's one long sequence, and I'll start at the beginning. The canopy of a tree, say a poplar, like a round house, removes the sight of vulnerability, the obvious entrance and back with no protection. Privacy can creep about in the leaves and below them, hang here as lungs on the outside. Isometrics will show the interior corridors, ways to habituate oneself to curvature. To take a house up on stilts also, above that first tall leap that allows a beast into the tree and onto her. Pocket any peril that's evaded, swan warm on the clear lake, or look out at it, especially nice between ornamented columns, to set a mid-distance that invokes one's own grandeur. Another pleasure from up, aerially, to see along the tops of hedges and ski sunned on top of it all. Goodbye to all the damned crannies. An armchair by a tall fireplace, and look out entirely horizontally, through glass windows over lawn floors, receptacles of light's courtesy. Peril can be pushed into the distance, into a consolidation like a town, although it's bound to have one messenger running. Truant on the tree's pinnacle, missing the last chance to go to school and socialize as normal, to be beginning architecture over. A cradle of deciduous structure mocks the balancing pole of thinking. There's an appropriate height for pleasure, higher struts into peril. Stump girl can't untether from the fulcrum of the farmhouse roof. See how fiercely mother ties the trussing strings. The growth on the tree could never be so one-sided. Yet a vertical axis dominates, apically, receiving the light first, sachets it. At Combray, the steeple is a sign of art. Amid miles of trees, a point of habitation. Traveling aborigines placed a pole to mark an overnight stopping place, and when one day it broke, they died. Up, life states itself in a number of hedges, the parcels of pasture, the vegetable garden, and each of 4 dozen newly planted brassica, plus the one swan, happy on her placid horizontal. Contemplating landing, the eye searches the distance to the gravel, wanting no new emotion, the fearless courtyard evenly lit, or a pond grown over. The frame from above demarcates a real situation, how to descend into it, stencil the way down, branch beneath branch, each one sturdier. Peril in going down diagonally, an arrow short on the dirt, no camouflage, or flat onto the lawn near a window to the indoors so close. Rather drift with conviction as a bee into marigolds, be captured, click into miniature. So on it goes, and there's a grand fall, what plants do in crisis, they change systems. Take the greener future back, just when, and then intensely interior, thickening rather than reaching, they seed. Blanch to form a crevice. Through corrugated topography, moisture may run, as through the tubular structures in a body, beginning at the mouth. Liquidity passes into the arch of the jaw, floats damaged cells, gathering in at great speed. Habituation to vision was a form of repression in itself. Tunneling, I recognized the incompatibility of truths within myself. Thank you.